not only did they refuse to give him medical care and allow him to just die, they took his body away from the scene. They brought in a pellet gun and many other crimes they committed against him. One of the most significant things about my brother's case is that our family, as well as witnesses in the community, witnessed the whole event from the beginning to the end, okay? And unfortunately for a lot of families, they found out about their loved one being killed sometimes days later, okay? Right now in Vallejo, we have a problem with corruption, the planting of evidence, okay? Everybody in America, we're supposed to have the right to due process, which means that we'll get the same rights as everybody else. However, in Vallejo, California, when you are killed by a police officer, you are no longer an American citizen. You have no rights to anything. Your family, they have no rights to your body, to your property, even to an explanation as to why an officer would kill an unarmed, innocent man. This city needs to step up. Across the state of California, there are numerous cases of not just police brutality, but flat-out murder. These police officers, they have the Police Officers' Bill of Rights. That deprives you of your right. The police department is allowed to slander individuals that they kill, injure, or arrest. And there's no one to stand up and say, hey, this is not true, except the family and the community, when the journalists and the news media need to step up and be accountable for the things that they report on mass media outlets. Right now, we are in a fight for our lives. To stand and do nothing is to say it is okay for murder to continue. Because see, nobody listened to those families that were here before us because their voices were squashed. They were intimidated. The same thing that has happened to myself and my family. Followed. Landlines changed. Cell phone hacks. Computers shut down. Anybody who came to support this family in one way or another has been harassed. Some have been beat up, some arrested, and some even killed. These unsolved suspicious murders that happened following an unlawful police shooting. These officers are thugs. They do not deserve the respect of the people. They do not deserve to wear a badge. It's time.
Our time is now.
See, they think things like this is funny because they are murderers, killers. And they try to use intimidation tactics to silence people. I go through that every day. People in the community are fearful. There's not a gang problem in Vallejo. This is a stereotypical way that the police department is pumping fear into people.
The police is the gang.
The police are the biggest gang in Vallejo. And they know this.
They are gang members.
I could go on and on and on and on, but I'm going to stop right now. And once again, thank you all for coming out. This is so important. You know, one of the most important things I want to say is before this officer shot my brother, he didn't say my brother had a gun. He said, the driver is being non-responsive, which means that he thought he was not following his order. But that is because he could not see in car. Because from the moment he pulled up, guns drawn, he never stopped. When they killed him, they did not know his name. They knew nothing about him. Your grandmother can be sitting in a car and non-responsive because maybe she had a stroke. Or maybe you're sitting in your car sleeping and you could be non-responsive. Do you deserve to die? No. And the cowards, after they kill you, the cowards didn't even have the heart to say, hey, you know what? Well, I know a couple of months ago we shot a guy with a wallet. This guy we shot through the hands. They were such cowards that they could not admit it, but instead went on a slanderous rampage to even further insult and brutalize the community. These cops are murderers. Murderers. And these murders will continue. Family members, do not allow this police department to tell you something about your loved one that you know is not true. They have assassinated the character of every victim. And it needs to stop. We know our family and friends. And when you live in a city the size of Vallejo, and there are more officer-involved shootings than in New York City, something is wrong. How many times in those other shootings across the nation did those officers reload? Zero! To unload an entire clip and then jump on the hood of a car, bend down and zone in and follow the person and unload a second clip. What is wrong here? And while you're shooting, you're looking at his sister, shooting him, saying, what the fuck you expect me to do? He got a gun now. No, you shot him because you thought he was being non-responsive. Any one of us can be non-responsive, okay? We have a right to live. My brother was killed during racial profiling. The only thing they knew about him when they murdered him was the color of his skin. They did never use the loudspeaker because they were creeping in the night just like the predators that they are. It's so much that needs to be done in this city. This police department is a disgrace. A disgrace. The tactics that they are using are disgusting, and they need to stop. But they want the people to believe that they're killing any type of stereotypical prejudice that they can bring up, either a gangbanger if you're black, or a, let's see here, a devil worshiper if you're white, or crazy. They are invoking every stereotype to continue killing because there is no remorse here. There is innocent blood pouring down these streets. If something is not done, Vallejo, California
undercover
will be raising the next terrorist. You have to stop bullying, murdering, and taking advantage of people who you feel are lesser than you. Anybody who is in a position of authority should be beyond reproach. And if that expectation is not put even on from the highest, our mayor, who himself had Topaz here seized with no warning. This woman, 2 or 3 officers come to drag her off a stage without asking her anything. They murdered my brother. He never even said a word except, we got our hands up. Please don't shoot us. We got our hands up. And when you see his body, you will see his hands with holes through it, like a crucifixion.